Welcome back, everybody. I am on the wrong camera, I think. There I am. Happy Friday, everybody. I am so glad to see everybody. I was trying to get kind of tricky so I could show you that new fan that Ulanzi has and having a little technical difficulties there. So, did not check to make sure everything is running. A little bit of music, a little bit of lights, a little bit of action. Yeah, we're there. Okay. So, I came across this. So Ulanzi is a little bit different. They must be a really, really small company because they sent me an affiliate request. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So once I signed up, now they send me all their new product things. And they sent me this thing on this fan. And it literally goes where your flippy screen goes. Now, if your camera doesn't have a flippy screen, I don't think it would work. And it does have to have a separate power source. So that would be kind of a drawback in my eyes because that just adds more weight. I don't think the fan is, it doesn't look like the fan is that heavy, but to have a battery, like a, what do you call those things? A charging brick? A power thing? Yeah, I don't know. My brain is fried. It's so hot. It was 102, 103 today. Yeah, so way too hot for normal people. You all know what I'm talking about though. But it looks like you have to have one of these. Yeah. And I don't know how you would mount that like to the camera. So this is kind of almost, this is bigger than my cameras. So I would not like that. But my cameras so far have not overheated. Now, I haven't had them out. Yes, I have. I went to Dinosaur World and it was 100 degrees and it didn't overheat. So I don't think mine overheat. Or I don't think, but I'm sure they can. Any camera can overheat, but I don't think they have an inherent problem like some of the more expensive cameras. So yeah, there's that. Well, let's see who is here. There's Roy. How you doing, Roy? All the way from the other side of the world. Good day, Sly. Good day, Roy. Always a pleasure to see you, buddy. Randy. Hey, Sly. I need to call you or text you or something. I need to talk to you, Randy. And there's Jeff from the other side of the world too. Afternoon, Sly from Australia, or happy Friday in the States. Yes. So yes, it's Saturday afternoon, isn't it? That's just so cool. Just for me to wrap my head around that. Most fans add too much noise. You know, I hadn't thought about that, Roy. Yeah, I guess it would be. Now I've started using the the Tascam thing that fits in my pocket, so it's away from the camera anyway, about an arm's length. So if it's reasonably quiet, I don't think it would pick it up. But if your microphone is mounted right on top, yes, you might pick up some noise. Hadn't really thought that through very much. It is only $20. So now with Ulanzi, and it may be different in Australia, I think they ship from China. So sometimes their stuff gets here within 4 days. And you can kind of track it and see if, like, I just placed an order with them and 2 of the items are coming from California and the rest of them are coming from China. So the 2 I'll get in about 4 days. The others, it may take a while. I have no idea who that was. Somebody hasn't done anything with the truck yet. Okay. Jeff says, does that mean you lose the floppy screen? No. No. Let me just find a camera. I'm kind of like Peter. I have tons of cameras and never one where I need it. Okay. So what it does, Jeff, is where your flippy screen, now some people flip out, some people flip up. it fits in this area that the screen vacates. So you don't lose your flippy screen. If your flippy screen is out to the side, you'd still have it. The fan fits in this part, and it's supposed to keep the camera body cool. So it's a neat idea. Like I said, this is actually the camera that went to Texas in the 100-degree heat where I almost expired, but the camera never overheated. So I don't know that I really need one of those. I just thought it was a cool thing when I saw it because so many of you guys do have overheating issues with those high dollar cameras. I don't have high dollar cameras. Yeah. Roy says a power bank. Thank you. Yes, there you go. A power bank. Yeah, words. I know them. Not well. And I have tons of those too. And this is probably one of my favorites because this is the smallest one I have. Why do they make these things so big? It seems like it could be half that size and it would be just fine. But yeah, they're big, they're heavy, and they're necessary. So, and there's Lewis. Yeah, you could probably walk me through how to get that picture on there. I've got it copied to the clipboard, and from there, I made a new scene. That wasn't how to do it. So the last time I put pictures up, I think my son helped me, and he's the computer person. So Roy says I'm down under. That's funny. Roy says I pinch old 12-volt fans from mini computers. Very expensive units, but very quiet. Okay. Now my fans in my big computer right there are way bigger than what that little flippy area in the camera is. The Ulanzi is made literally just to fit whatever size that is, 3-inch or something. So yeah, my computer fan would be a lot bigger than that. But in theory, it should run because your computer's 12 volt. So in theory, that should work, right? Click and drag the picture onto your image in Ecamm. Click and drag. Clicking and dragging, buddy. Let's see if this works. It's not moving. It's not moving. Ah! Dragging. It didn't go anywhere. Although that was funny. Now it put my little picture on the Ulanzi thing. That was hilarious. Oh, let me try this one. Nope, that didn't work either. Yeah, no, I got nothing. Click and drag the picture onto your image in Ecamm. Picture. Clicking and dragging. It is not doing anything. So that's okay. If y'all go to I did put a link to Ulanzi in the description, and if you go there and just type in fan in the description, it'll pull it right up. So because I couldn't figure out how to do the whole drag and drop, so it could not be easier. I have 2 screens, right? Normally you just click on something on this one, drag it over to this one, voila, you're there. This ain't working. Yeah, so it's all good. Use the mouse scroll wheel to adjust the size. Well, yeah. But nope, won't let me do that either. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all can find it. It's in the description below. Just when you get there, just type in fans. It's all good. I will eventually learn this. Not tonight. It's all good. And Jim says, "Hey there, Sly, and hi everyone." Jim, you stayed up. Thank you, buddy. I know it's your bedtime, and I get that. I am so much of a night owl. It's not funny, but I did actually have to take a little bit of a nap. Is your screen locked? No, sir, it is not. It does not have the lock beside it. So, no. Maybe, I don't know. Not really sure. Um, yeah, Lewis wanted to know if my screen was locked. So I know. Now here. Okay. So when Grant put something on here, I think it was the picture of the trees or something. They were already in my computer, and I'm trying to get this directly off their website into Ecamm. So maybe I have to download it in onto the computer, and then into Ecamm. Not 100% sure about that. I've got the picture pulled up on the other screen. Y'all just can't see it. So I don't think even if I go, no, you can't. Even if I change cameras and go to this one, it's still over here where you can't see it. So yeah, about that. It's all good. Um, so, but I just thought that was really cool. And I don't know if Peter has made his way in here yet, because we were talking about batteries earlier. And as a parent or a grandparent, batteries are your nemesis. Okay? And now they have started making toys with button batteries. Who does that? Right? Nobody has these laying around. Well, now Sly does. Okay? So 2 of my grandson's toys quit working. And, oh, no problem. Granny has a slew of AA, AAA, okay? We'll just change them out. And all the toys have, you have to take this little micro screwdriver and unscrew the little housing thing to get to the flipping batteries, right? Now, I understand it's probably a safety thing, because there are some little Hellcats out there that can't keep from putting batteries in their mouth, supposedly. My grandson's not one of those, okay? You tell him don't put the battery in your mouth, he's not going to do it, okay? But anyway, so you have this little micro screwdriver that goes in this little micro screw that you have to have magnifying glasses to see, and lo and behold, you take it off, and does it have a AAA or a AA? Oh no, it has these little button batteries. I have been to so many stores. I live in kind of a small town. It's not like a big metropolitan city. It's more of a small town. But I have been to 5 stores looking for these batteries. And Amazon was even sold out. So I finally found some. It came on a whole big card, 40 of them. They're not expensive, but who does that? So Peter was wanting to know what a button battery is, and that is what a button battery is. And I hope you never have to come across needing one. If you do, I'll send you some of mine. But that's my rant for the night, okay? Because that is just... why would they do that? Roy says, turn the camera to the screen. Well, I would, Roy, but they're not... I can't get one easily. Yes. Yeah, no. That one is permanently mounted to the ceiling, and these 2 are on tripods out of arm's reach. So, yes, there's that. Maybe I could. No, I couldn't. Okay. Roy says button cells are deadly to toddlers and me. Yeah, I just well, that poses another thing, okay? If a child were so prone to put things in their mouth, I would think they could swallow this a heck of a lot easier than a AAA, right? But yeah, so his T-Rex had one, and his Paw Patrol toy had one. So I'm thinking this is the wave of the future, as they're going to these stupid little They're called Coin Cell Battery Pros. Coin Cell. Just give me the regular old AA and AAA. That's, you know, been around forever and ever and ever. There's Carlos. Hey, Sly. Hey, everyone. Glad you can make it, bud. Roy says, these days I have an entire table dedicated to rechargeable batteries. Necessary, but I hate it. Right? Yeah, I mean, I've kind of resigned myself to the fact that this camera will never leave the tripod. It'll spend its entire life on a tripod. So it has a dummy battery. I have, because once again, these are the stupid little batteries. Look how little that is. It's just not a night for batteries, guys. These are the stupid little batteries that go in this camera. And they're a size smaller than the ones that go in the M6s, right? I did find a battery grip for the M6, so I was very pleased about that. Don't have it yet, but that's to come. I am saving up my pennies to get the Insta360 Go 3. And my reasoning behind that is I have a gimbal, okay? To carry it, you have to fold it down, and then you have to set it up every time you want to use it, okay? When you're with a 3-year-old, soon to be 4, but still the same energy level, if anything, he's faster now. You don't really have time. Just wait 1 second, try to be patient. Let me set this gimbal up so that I can chase you and without the camera going like this, right? So I'm thinking with the Insta360 Go 3, it has an attachment thing where you can, I don't have a ball cap in here. I always have a ball cap, always. I always wear one. Anyway, you can turn it around, and on the strap on the back, you can mount the camera. And it'll be just right above eye level, and I can just chase him to my heart's content, and it's supposed to have really good stabilization, which is not something that I have. So that should help somewhat. And then when he's not with me, you know, I can get the gimbal out and use the bigger camera, and everything will be fine. But I do think it will help. He and I are going to start going on some adventures together. In fact, I'm trying to figure out, I've got him for next weekend, so I'm trying to figure out where to go and what to do. And so he kind of likes being in front of the camera now. He didn't used to. Well, yeah, he likes having his picture taken, and he likes doing the videos. So he's kind of becoming a camera hog. Yeah, but that's good. That's okay. Both my kids, they grew up with cameras pointing in their faces, and so it was nothing to them. Every time Mom would get the camera out, they would just automatically freeze and say, cheese. You know, it was just, yeah. And he's getting that way. Did you get the battery grip, Sly? Yes, I ordered it. It has not come in yet. So I pretty much have a lot of time off from about Wednesday or Thursday to Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, and part of Wednesday is really tight, and I can't hardly breathe those 3 days, and then I'll have all this time off. So yes, I ordered one. I'm not sure I got the right one. I was half asleep, but yes, it's not here yet. Roy says, put weights around his ankles to slow him down. Yeah, I don't know that would work. He's just really, it's all perspective, and it's all, you know, he's little and he just moves really quickly, and I'm not so little and I don't move as quickly. Plus the joints don't work as good as his do, but he's the brand new model, right? So everything works better. Roy says, I'm not stable either. Yeah, the little gimbal I have is fantastic. It does not take that long to set up. But there again, that's perspective. It doesn't take that long, I don't think, to set up. But when a 3-year-old is waiting impatiently to go see dinosaurs, it takes too long, right? So I don't know how you would set it up ahead of time. Yeah. But you know, it's all a learning curve. We did go out in the kayak last Saturday. So I have a really weird, you can't really tell, I don't think. Well, you can sort of. So there's, right here, there's a line that goes this way that was like red. I knew that would tan. There's one on this arm too. Yeah. See how dark my hand is, but then when you get over to here, it's like bellyfish white, right? And so my feet have these little rectangles on them from where the sandals were. And apparently, my son has said I don't adult well because I forgot my sunscreen. He did bring some, and I put it on, but I forgot my feet. Yeah, so they were purple. Those little squares turned purple, and my nose was purple. There was one stripe on my shoulder, about this big, that got kind of cherry red, and then I came home and mowed my yard. Yeah, glutton for punishment. But we were supposed to go tomorrow, and they have to get there like stupid early. I guess to transport or some, I don't know. I don't remember the reason, but I told him I'm just not up for a really early call. And if you put me on the water that early, I am liable to capsize. I capsize anyway. We actually went to a lake, had a beautiful day. It was absolutely stunning. I only saw 3 boats the whole day, and it was wide enough that the boats went down the center and we were off to the side, and so the wake was just very gentle and very peaceful, right? In a river, 2 weekends ago, some people capsized and lost their kayaks, and they never found the people. So, yeah, there's that. So I'm kind of glad, I think, maybe when I'm a little well rested and the river's down just a little bit. Apparently it's kind of up right now. Jeff says, yes. What was it with your young man? Come, Granny, at the dinosaur park. He's just like our granddaughter. You know, I did not realize how much he says that until I got to editing the video. And I probably edited out 100 grannies, right? Because it was just a constant thing. And he had my attention. So I don't know. It's just like his new thing is, huh? Which drives me insane. I'm like, do we need to get your ears checked? Because he says, huh, so much, right? And yeah, I'm not a big one for that. If you can't hear me, I'll repeat myself, but to say, huh? Or what'd you say? 100 times in an afternoon kind of gets on your nerves. So I told him, I said, if we need to get your ears checked, we will. But Granny really doesn't like to be repeating herself constantly. And so just to test, kind of a home test on his hearing, I stood outside the door and I said, would little man like a cookie? And he heard me perfectly. So at 3, he has selective hearing, right? What is up with that? I mean, I know a lot of you guys get selective hearing, but I thought it started way later than 3. Apparently not. So if his mind is on something else, he tunes everything else out, right? And so if you speak to him, it's like, huh? Or what'd you say? You know. So we're gonna have to work on that just a little bit. But I did have, oh yeah, I know what I was going to show you guys. So, you know how I am about my bags. I found a lady who, her whole channel is about bags. She's new. She's just starting out. Cannot think of her name. I'm so sorry. It's something about Carrie. Love your Carrie or something like that. But I got some, which I never thought I would like. You know, we were talking last week about PGY Tech and Peak Design. Well, I got it's a PGY Tech because I do like that bag. It's just really big. So for me, if I was going to go off for like a weekend, I can put my camera gear in the top or the bottom part and then put clothes in the other part, because I don't think all my camera gear that I have that's just way too big. So they have two more sizes that this okay, this is a 6 liter. And this is a 3 liter, right? Yeah, I guess it's about half the size. I really like the material on these PGY Techs. Now on the 3 liter, I don't know if that's supposed to be a sling bag. I'm thinking it's too big to be a sling bag. I wear it like a fanny pack, right? And it fits perfect. It's got all the pockets I need. Set that down for just a minute. This one, let me see if I can do this. Okay. Well, just lost the computer. Seriously? Turn back on. Okay. So this one, it has these two little outside pockets right here, and they are, this one is magnetized. This one is not, right? So if you put something little in there, it's got a little magnetic closure to keep it closed. But this one is the perfect size for a point and shoot and a microphone, right? And then, of course, your batteries, and I have a charger back here. It's got like 3 pockets over here, and these have these little cute little, which I know you've seen, these cute little indicators, which either your battery's charged or it's not. Green for good and red for needs charging. It does have all these dividers, which I don't use. I use one. And then this side is magnetized as well. And this side, I guess, would be for like memory cards. But I have a memory card holder, so I just throw it from one bag to the other. And of course, it has the obligatory pen holder, which in my other bag that I don't know where it is, I put my reading glasses, like the stem of the reading glasses. Yeah. So this too has a pen holder, and that's where my glasses are. Just right there. That way they're always there. You don't lose them. But the reason I got the bigger bag was strictly to make a video about it, right? I found it on Facebook. It wasn't expensive. And so I thought, well, that'll give me the 3 sizes, the 3, the 6, and then the 22. But this bag, I actually kind of like it. And I'll tell you why. Like most bags, they open from the front, right? And if you're wearing it and it opens from the front, this flap is going to be in your way. But this one opens from the back, and I really kind of like that. So it opens away from you, and it will go, yeah. So as you're wearing it on this side, it opens up away from you, which I just think that's too cool. And then you can get to all your stuff. It's really kind of deep, and it really has a slew of pockets on it. A zippered pocket up here. It has a pocket here. On the back facing up against your body, it has it's not a hugely deep pocket. I haven't even taken the tags off yet, but it is deep enough for like a passport, or I don't travel with my passport here in the US. You don't need it unless you go out of the country. So, but it has got it's probably down to about here. fairly good sized pocket. And the strap, I am loving the strap. It's like a neoprene, like a thick wetsuit would be, right? Super, super comfortable. So I got this, and it does have a pocket on the front right here. Another little, it's not real deep, but you can put your keys or something in there. I just got this for to do the size comparison thing, and then I was just gonna resell it, right? Because I'm not really a messenger bag person. This kind of changed my mind. I will be making a video about them, but I didn't think I would like that at all, and I kind of do. It hasn't replaced my backpack yet, but I kind of like it. Never knew. Carlos says those new models are amazing. Bionic hearing and everything. Right? Just says, our kayaks we had are so great and safe. It can be filled with water and still would not sink. It's very hard to tip over, so for someone like me or young children was the perfect kayak. So yeah, a couple of years ago, I had a 10-foot Vibe, and I got in a tree, and it was bad. So it took me about 5 weeks to heal from that little accident. Of course, I didn't have my PFD on, and there was just a lot of things. I lost my cameras. I lost everything. And it was a God thing, because I got beat up pretty bad. But I saw it when I did pop up above water. I saw all my stuff floating about 30 feet away, just far enough that I really couldn't get over there to get any of it. And my life jacket floated straight to me. So at that point, I was in no position to go try to rescue coolers or water bottles. The cameras, of course, sank under the tree, so they were not retrievable. But yeah, so I got a new kayak. It is longer. I think it's about the same weight. I didn't really notice it being a lot heavier. It is a little bit longer, and it's a little bit wider. And the lake was its maiden voyage, and I loved it. It did phenomenal. You're supposed to be able to stand like on the what do they call that, a gunnel, the edge, and it not tip over if you get your other foot on the other side. I did not test that theory, because I am fairly prone to tipping things over. So and the cameras are now permanently mounted. So, well, I say permanently while we're on the water, and then you can take them out of their little holder things once you get back on land. But I would kind of like to go in the morning, but man, 8 o'clock sure comes early. And I am a night owl, and I think 8 o'clock they're trying to, I think, avoid the heat of the day, maybe, which it's stupid hot. 103 is just miserable. So, yeah, you're on the water, but yeah, I don't know that I need to be in that much sun this soon after last week. So, we may wait a week. Jeff says, the page looks like the DJI drone bag. The page. The bag, maybe? Looks like the DJI drone bag. I think, yes. I think it does. I don't know why I like it so much. I knew I liked this little fanny pack. This thing's phenomenal. I mean, the feel of it is I don't know what it's made of, but it is so smooth and so nice. And the PGY Tech is a little bit cheaper than the Peak Design stuff. So, in all fairness, I only have one thing of the Peak Design, and that's the little strappy thing on the camera. So, I like it a lot, but I would kind of like to get one of their bags to kind of have for comparison. But the too many letters. The PGY Tech bag, this one, is the same material that these two little bags are made of. So it feels really, really good. But it's really thick. Like, so when you put it on, you've got a lot behind you. So I would take up maybe a third of it with camera gear and then put clothes and stuff in the rest of it. So, hey Charles, how you doing, bud? Hi Sly, got a new video out about what's in my bag. Ooh, can't wait. I think at once upon a time, I saw you had a Vanguard bag. I don't know if you're still carrying it, but you know, I kind of pick up on those things. So, and I could be completely mistaken, but it looked like you had the VO Go 46, maybe, I don't know. So I from what I understand, you are down south. So that's really cool. You'll have to tell us more about that. I won't spill the beans. Jeff says the PJY Tech looks a bit smaller for the DSLR with lens, spare batteries, speed light, and filters, but for a small camera, it looks like it would be okay. So the fanny pack is perfect for a point and shoot. Okay. Now the Deity microphone is like big. I wish they had made. It doesn't need to be. That's a big thing to carry, and it doesn't need to be. Now, I complained about the ceramic case only being big enough for the charging thing. Well, the Deity doesn't have a charging thing, but look how much wasted space there is. They could have slimmed this down a lot, right? So that is a little bit of overkill for having to put up with a case that big, which it's kind of thin. And I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big. But like, here's my Hollyland, okay? And this has 2 transmitters. And it's smaller, right? Now, it is thicker. So there is a trade-off. But for a point and shoot, which is very small, this thing just is perfect. And if you're just out doing your, you know, not really intending on shooting a video that day, or maybe you're just out with the family or something, I mean, this is a great little setup to have, and you can just put it around your waist and off you go, and you can keep up with the 3-year-old. Yeah. Especially if I had the thing on my hat. And I have learned, do not mic a 3-year-old. Okay. Like I said, this is a learning process, and I am learning. I will not mic a 3-year-old again. Yeah. Did I put that on the screen? I don't remember. Yes. So for the point and shoot, yes, it would not be big enough. That would not be big enough for like my 80D, which is a much bigger camera. But that is a very good point, Jeff. This 6 liter would be plenty big enough. In fact, I think when I do the video, thank you for the heads up, because when I do the video, I think I'll use the ADD to show how big this bag is. It's big, but you know, like I put it on my hip, and yeah, I do feel a little bit like a gunslinger where you have to hold your arm out just a little bit. But if you, I don't know, it just feels so good. And it doesn't look like it's contoured, but somehow it just fits your hip. Not really sure how they achieved that, but it just kind of fits right. Now, I'm thinking you could probably get, so I'm basing this off the 80D, which is the biggest camera I have. Yeah, I could probably get that in there with a lens attached, another lens, the mic, obviously some batteries, and a tripod on top, like my little Pixie tripods that I like, you know, because honestly, most of what I do is filming myself. So, yeah, I think everything would fit in there. Now, my mirrorless cameras, it just swallows. I mean, you could get a ton of these things in there because they're so tiny. But in comparison to the 80D is huge compared to this. It's also, the lenses are a lot heavier too. The in-mount lenses are not very heavy. So, oh, yeah, right there it is. There's my little Pixie. I've got like 4 of these. They just fit my hand really well because my hands aren't that big. And if I need to set anything down, boom. Right? So, now my son likes the Gorilla Pods. He's got a Gorilla Pod. So sometimes, not always, but sometimes when I buy stuff online, I don't really look at the size. I don't read what size it is. And in the picture, it looked like a normal Gorilla Pod. And when he got it, it's probably smaller than this. It's probably about that size. But he loves it. So he has a little point and shoot and that he loves. And he likes his little miniature Gorilla Pod. But I got it for him for his birthday one year, and when I did, it was, I opened the box and I'm like, what is this? Because I was expecting like a Gorilla Pod, right? And this thing is like this big. So, not the first time I have ordered something and it has come in either miniature or ginormous. So, yeah, there's that. Charles says, yes, I am in Miami Beach. That's cool. Says, we'll visit Peter tomorrow. That's cool. He's a really good cook. I don't know if you're going over there for lunch or what have you, but so yeah, he's excited to see you. So hope that comes to pass. But yeah, let us know. Keep us updated. And I will definitely, I'm interested in all videos about bags. So this lady, I don't know if I can find her really quickly. Where's my... But she's and it's funny because you never see her face. She's using an iPhone to film, and she just has it aimed at the bag, and she just shows you the bag. So you see her hands, but you never see her face. So I have no idea what she looks like. Enjoy Your Carry is her channel name, and she's new, but she's putting out 3 or 4 videos a week, and so she's cranking them out, and she's getting a following. So if you are wanting to know anything about, now so far from what I've seen, she's done like tech pouches and stuff. But I'm sure she will get in, as her channel gets bigger, I'm sure she'll get into backpacks and what have you. I didn't start out doing camera bags. So I just am a hoarder, as Randy says. I tend to think it's more a collector. Thank you. And I do sell some of them. So, I have a couple for sale right now, but, and they take a minute on Marketplace to sell, which is fine because they're just sitting here. So I'm in no hurry, but, yeah, if you want to know anything about like the littler tech bags, check her out. It's Enjoy Your Carry. And like I said, have no idea what she looks like. Don't know where she lives, but she does a really good job doing little bags. So, which this is probably my very favorite tech bag, the Ulanzi, right? And I have 2 of the medium wandered, a small wandered, and then I have the Ulanzi new Trakers, the mini and the what do they call it? The Pro, I think is what they call it. They're all bigger than this. This is my favorite, just because it's small. It does the whole origami opening type thing. It's not black on the inside. Okay, that's a huge thing, which I didn't think it would be, because I'm thinking, well, these bags are small, so how can you lose something in this bag? Well, let me just show you. This is a black inside. Can you see the black cord? Probably not. It's there. Right there. But this is just... Now, I love the feel of this on the outside, but the inside leaves a lot to be desired because you can't see what you're looking for. And if it was even remotely somewhat dark and you're looking for a black cable in a black... Yeah, right? Who does that? So, wondered if you're listening. The insides need to be lighter colored. And so that's one reason I like this. You can see everything in there, right? If you need a black cable, guess what? It's going to show up against that gray. So, like I said, I'm learning as I go. It's a learning thing. I'm learning more about what I like and what I don't like. And so, you know. Jeff says, I love that little tripod you just shown. It looks very solid. That would be great for my GoPro. That's originally why I bought them, was for the Osmos. I've got it out because I've got the, I was editing a video, but that's the cage. And yeah, it just screws right on there. Bada bing, you're ready to go. And then it just fits my hand really well, and I fell in love with it. And so I use it for everything. When I did the camera comparison videos, I used this. And it just screws right on there. And then you can put a camera on each side. And that's about as close, I mean, these move, so that's about as close a comparison as you can get. Because, you know, that way you can't say, well, one hand was jiggling more than the other. You're not having to hold two cameras. And so as far as a comparison video, that's about as close as you can get, which is what I did with the Sony ZV-1 and the Canon G7X Mark III. And I was amazed. The Sony, I really like the Sony for product showcase. Okay. It is super, I think I've got it zipped in here. It is super fast. Well, I don't have it on my face. But it's super fast to go from your face to whatever you're showing, which the rest of my cameras are not. Okay. So for that, if you're doing a lot of product showcasing, it's the way to go. But when I did the stabilization, the ZV-1 fell hugely behind the Canon. So, and like I said, they were both on that bar. You can't get a more fair comparison, right? So, but yes, I have, I know I have at least 3 of the black ones. They make a red and gray one. I have one of those. And I have them in every bag because I love these things. They're so portable, and you can just whip it out, throw your camera on it, you're ready to go, right? Now, if I could just walk a little smoother, that would that would be good. Haven't figured that out yet. Charles says, also added a GoPro 9 to my travel bag. Okay, let me know how you like that. Now, I've heard the GoPro 11 that they've kind of fixed the bugs, but I have heard that people are having some freezing up issues with the earlier GoPros. So let me know how the 9 works for you, because I'm a huge believer in not buying the latest and greatest and waiting. Like, I would rather buy last year's model and save the money than to have the latest and greatest. So let me know how you like that Hero 9, because honestly, it's getting kind of hard to find any more Osmo Actions. I think I would like to pick up at least one more. But if I get the Insta360 Go 3, then I probably don't need another Osmo. But I love my Osmos. They've done really, really well. They just don't do very well in low light. So, but honestly, I don't really shoot that much at night. So that's really not an issue. A buddy of mine uses a GoPro Hero 11 and no mic or anything. He just uses the internal built-in mic, and it sounds really good. It looks really good. And off he goes, and he shoots a video probably every other day. So, yeah, I'll be really curious, Charles, how you like that GoPro 9. Because that would be something that I would not mind investing in. You know, it's like two models old, and so you probably should be able to pick one up at a decent price. And if you're not finding any bugs with it, yeah, so keep me in mind. Jeff says, what is the brand of your mini tripod? It's a Manfrotto Pixie. See what I mean? Yeah, these just don't do product showcase very well. But yeah, it's the Manfrotto Pixie. And as you can see, it just fits in my hand really well, and it does not feel like it's going to drop. I did put a strap on the camera just in case somebody knocks the whole thing out of my hand. But so far I've never dropped one, right? And I just like I'm very tactile, Jeff. I just like the way things feel. And this feels really good in your hand. So, and they're like $20. They're not expensive. So, let's see. Charles says, I bought the GoPro 9 Hero Black brand new, open box at Best Buy for $200. So far, no issues. Cool. So, have you tried it with the media mod or just the internal mic? I think the older ones, from the 10 and back, I think needed the media mod. I'm not sure the 11 needs it. I think they still sell one for it, but I think the mic in the 11 sounds fine. Probably if you compared them side by side, you might notice a difference maybe. But who's going to do that besides somebody like me? Yeah. Jeff says, the GoPro are a great add-on. I love it. No complaints. So which GoPro do you have, Jeff? I've never, ever, ever had... It's so weird because my cameras don't overheat. My Osmo Action has never frozen up. I've just never had the problems that a lot of people are saying that they're having. But I don't have the R6. I don't have the $2,500 camera that overheats. You know, my little M6s have never overheated. So, and my Osmo Action has never frozen up. So I have never experienced those issues that other people are saying they have. And so real world, you know, I kind of know you guys. So if you're not experiencing those issues, then maybe it's just somebody got a bad run, or you know, I'm kind of saving up to get that DJI microphone because I think it sounds impressive. And lo and behold, you can find a video where people are having problems with that too. So, is it just the 2 or 3, 4, 5 people that are having problems with it, and 20,000 people are not having problems with it? You know, so you kind of do have to look at that too. So, but I mean, if you guys aren't having any problems with your GoPros, then it's probably just that select people, and they get upset because they've spent money on a camera and they're having problems with it. Is kind of what I'm thinking, possibly. But yeah, I've never had any problems. I lost an Osmo in the river incident, and that was my first one, and I immediately replaced it because I really did like it. It just, where it went down, it just wasn't retrievable. I even thought about getting one of those fishing magnets and seeing if I couldn't just kind of like throw it out there and then drag back and see. Yeah. And everyone told me I was crazy. So, so it was one that bit the dust. I still mourn the loss of my little first Osmo, but yes, I've since moved on. I have two more. I have the Insta360, which have still not figured out how to use that yet. So I'm probably going to give that to my son. It's a nice camera. They're well made. But, and if it could do, and I think it can, I think that there is a setting where you don't have to use the 360. You can just use it like front facing. But if it could mount on like a ball cap, I know I'm going to look like the biggest dork ever out there chasing this little boy. But that's okay. Grannies are supposed to be dorks, right? So he is going to be with me next weekend. So if we are live here, he'll probably want to do his little pop-up thing, you know, but Chris should drown out his videos, I'm hoping. And if we're remote, then that opens up a whole new, I don't know what we'll do. Yeah. So, I will be live in some form or fashion next Friday, but I'm not sure what it will be. I would love to take him somewhere with a pool, maybe get a hotel that has a pool and we can just swim all weekend. Or Tulsa has a aquarium that is pretty cool, but I've shown him pictures and he really hasn't expressed a great deal of interest. So not sure he's really an aquarium type guy. Yeah, he loves dinosaurs. So if I could find something a little bit closer than Glen Rose, Texas, that would be good. And right now I'm thinking the further you go, the hotter it gets, right? The further south you go. So it's hot enough here. Yeah, so wouldn't be opposed to taking him like to the mountains, but we don't really have mountains around here that are within a short drive. So not sure where we're going to be next week, but we'll be somewhere. Jeff says, I have the GoPro 7. Never had an issue and did not at this stage need to upgrade. Okay. I use it when I want to use more than one camera to capture different angles, then blend them in post. Yes, that's what... So Jeff, I have learned a little bit just in how I am. The reason I got the 360 was I had 4 cameras, I think, 4 or 5, set up trying to film my son playing disc golf, right? Because disc golf is like this hugely fast growing sport around here. And so, and I did capture a really good shot where he banked it off a tree and made it into the basket. So I did catch that, but that was 51 files of editing. I don't like doing that. You know, I'm good for about 20, right? You get up into the high numbers and it becomes more of a chore than a labor of love type thing. And so I got the 360 because I'm thinking I can stake it down. It'll capture when he throws all the way over to the basket, right? And then you can just, there is a way that you can follow the frisbee, right? So, or the disc, I should say. They don't call it a frisbee, they call it a disc. But so instead of having 51 files, I would just have the one and then maybe take another camera for B-roll. So I might have 10 maybe. So, yeah, I haven't gotten to test that out yet because I can't figure out how to edit the video out of the 360. So there's that. But yeah, now the 7, I don't believe, does the 7 have the screen on the front, or did they start that with the 8? I'm not sure. I think the 9 does have the screen on the front. Charles says the GoPro 9 allows you to live stream directly using the app and can also be used as a webcam. Okay. Well, that's cool because I know you do remote live streaming and you do a phenomenal job. So that's really cool. The Osmo I do not think will do that. I don't think you can use it as a webcam, and I'm pretty sure you can't live stream with it. So yeah, I don't think there's a port that will do the output. I might have to play with that, but I don't think it will. And I've got so many cameras set up now that it's. But for the kayaking stuff, the Osmos are fantastic because they're waterproof, and these are so not. They're not even weather resistant, right? They have the same coating that my 80D has on it, and my 80D is weather resistant, but yeah, they're not at all. I mean, they even say on there they are not even a little bit. So for if you're out in the rain or something, the Osmos, they take a pretty good picture. I mean, I'm happy with the picture on them. I did just order, you guys are gonna laugh at me, I just ordered an ND filter for the Osmo Actions, right? That was one of the things I got from Ulanzi. I think it has a built-in something, but so you basically unscrew this part like you see so, and then this part becomes the ND filter, and then you just screw it on, and you've got sunglasses for your action camera, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, these little things are phenomenal, and I like them because they've got the big front screen, so at least you can tell if you've cut your head off. You know, I don't see well up close. Now I can see a mile away and tell you what the sign says, right? But when you're like an arm's distance away, I don't see that well up close. And so I don't depend on the screen a lot. I just want to make sure that I'm not cutting my head off, you know. So I actually had some in the kayak, and thank goodness it's a widescreen. It's a wide field of view because I just set them on the kayak and turned them on. I didn't make sure that I was in the shot or anything, and they turned out okay. So some of them need to be zoomed in a little bit, but they turned out okay. So I will be posting that video eventually when I get through editing it. But I did order the ND filters for my little action cameras, and we'll see if it makes a difference. You know, plus being out on the water and the sun is like super, super bright. So I think it might help. I don't know. Jeff says GoPro Hero 7. Sorry, I forgot, as there are different models. The GoPro Hero 7 is a fantastic camera for me. Does it have the screen on the front? Like the little Osmos? Because I do use that a lot. When I got in the kayak, you know, everything was it was an afterthought. In fact, I forgot to even turn them on at first. And when I did try to turn them on, the battery in one was about half, and the battery in the other was completely depleted. And there was the lake is not like the river where you can just pull off to the side and change the battery. There was no place to change the battery. So I only got to record about half because we found a cliff. The lake level was up, and so there were some rocks that kind of made like a stair step thing, and we pulled off there. So if I got out, I could get back in, and we got to change the batteries. But so I did get to record some of it. But yeah, it's just I need to get better at slowing down, taking my time, making sure everything is ready to go. And my personality is I just kind of jump in and do things, right? And so it kind of comes out slipshod. So yeah, I need to improve on that. Charles says it also records video in 5K 30. Okay, well, I'm still at 1080. So the 5K, 4K, you know, it's good to have, I think for future. But honestly, 2 years from now, I'll probably be buying new gear anyway. When 4K becomes the norm for like computer monitors and TV screens, and it will, we'll get there. When it becomes the norm, I'll probably, at that point, either not be doing this anymore, or because I'll be too old, or I'll upgrade my gear, So I do think that is the way it's going to go. But right now, so few people are watching on a 4K or 5K monitor, and YouTube will do it in 4K, but if your monitor's not 4K, you're not really getting it 4K. So yeah, so if it's in 1080, I'm fine with that for now, and we'll keep growing as it keeps progressing, and it will. Jeff says, yes, it's a big job in post, but I love it. Still learning to edit in Premiere Pro. It takes me weeks to do. I think it takes me weeks to do, but I love it. My GoPro is totally waterproof. I do not live stream or web, as I have my own. Yes. So, I think if you compared the pictures side by side between the M6 and the Osmo, the M6 would win. Okay, it's 32 megapixels versus, I believe the Osmo is 16 or 20. So I think if you put them side by side, the M6 would probably win. But I don't think I would ever be in a situation where I would put them side by side. When I went to Florida, I had the 80 and the 90D with me, and this is the little camera that was the star of the show. This is the one I used the entire trip because the others were too big. And so they weren't, I didn't feel comfortable like on my little mini tripod. They're heavy. They're not well balanced. Like my M6 it's small and it's very well balanced. So you put this thing on here and it just sits there, right? Well, the 80 and the 90D are not as well balanced. So if I went to Florida again, I would definitely take the M6, but I would be okay having this out all the time because it is so portable. Okay. And that's one of the reasons I like it, because I'm usually running and gunning. Now I have made a few videos in here, and some of them I start in here and then I go out, but I think for the most part, I usually film outdoors. I'm out somewhere doing something. So, I need that portability. And, like I said, I picked up 2 of these, and these have been fantastic, and they have a fairly good onboard mic. There is a adapter that you can put on them, but it's a bad system. You put it in, you have to take this little door off for starters, and then it's a USB-C. I don't know if you can see that. Get it up here above my head, right there. Okay, so that little slot right there, and it just kind of hangs on the side of the camera. Okay, and it's not as big as the camera, but it's not small either. And then you plug your mic into it. Well, that sounds all well and good, except it has a tendency to pull down out of that USB slot, and you don't know, because on the screen here that's very tiny, there's an even tinier little microphone symbol, okay, to let you know that you've got a mic plugged in. Well, if you lose that, you have to be constantly watching that little microphone symbol, and it'll go, you'll have it, and you'll have this really clear, crisp audio from an external mic, and then you lose it and you get the onboard mic, which does not sound as good as an external mic, okay? If you compare them side by side. if you only use the onboard mic, it's fine. And nobody has ever said anything about the sound being bad. It's just when you try to compare them. So I did take a rubber band and I like rubber banded the little adapter thing on there, and that worked okay. But when you take this door off, it's not waterproof anymore, which is the whole reason I'm using this. So for the kayaking and stuff, I just use the onboard mic. It picks it up fine, and nobody has had a complaint so far. So that is one of the things that I liked about the Osmo. Now, remember, these are a couple of years old. So they've come out with the Osmo Action 2, which was the little square things that, who came up with that? I do not like that, where you have to attach the little square things together. And now they've got the Action 3, which kind of piqued my interest a little bit until I found out that it looks exactly the same, but it takes a different battery. And I've probably got a dozen of these batteries. So why would I want to change my ecosystem, right? I would rather have another original Osmo that takes the same battery than to have to start all over buying new batteries again. Like Roy said, before this is over, I'm going to need a room dedicated to charging batteries. Can you tell I'm kind of passionate about batteries? This is not in a good way. Jeff says, the thing is, we may have 5K, but to record and save in 5K would take up so much hard drive space, and your computer and monitor will need to be fast enough to handle large, normal, or clogged files. Yes. So, and that is another consideration, I guess. My Mac Mini, I like it, but this PC right here has got 2 terabytes of internal memory, and it's running off 64 gigs of RAM. Okay, so it kind of blows the Mac Mini out of the water, but Ecamm and Final Cut Pro and all that are set up for Mac operating system, and so they won't work on the PC. So the only thing I use the Mac for is editing videos, live streaming, anything that's kind of YouTube related, right? Everything else I use the PC for, just because it is faster. The storage blows the Mac out of the water, and I have 4 external hard drives, because this thing only has 256 gigabytes of hard drive space. So if you try to edit 2 big 1080 videos, it'll tell you you've run out of space. And so you've got to move files and then go back and retrieve them when you want to edit that video. And so it's just really, it's an inconvenience, right? If I was doing it in 4K, yeah, my goodness. Yeah, I can't even imagine the problems I would have, because those files are, almost 4 times the size of a 1080. That would just, yeah, I don't know how people do that. They must be running off an external drive, because that 256 it doesn't do very much. So I'm very happy with the 1080. It works for me, Jeff says, my granddaughter Bella said, hello, Sly. Hi, Bella. How you doing? How old is Bella? Is she little like my little man, or is she older? But hi, Bella. How are you? I'm a grandmother of 3 years, almost 4. And so it's still kind of new to me, but I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. So you take good care of your grandpa, okay? Because they're special. They're special people, grandparents. So hope you're having a wonderful day. It is Saturday afternoon where you are. And I absolutely love the name Bella. That's just, yeah. Had I known about that name 27 years ago, my daughter would have been named Bella. Instead, I got a Brett, which it fits her. but Bella would have fit her too, and I really like that name. So I hope you're having a fantastic weekend with your grandpa. But guys, I think we've done it again. We've made another Friday, right? And like I said, we will be here next Friday. I'm not sure if we will be here. We may be somewhere remotely. I don't know. But have Mac will travel. So as long as I have internet, I should be able to live stream, I think. So like I said, I don't know where we'll be. I do know I will have my little man with me wherever I am. And so he'll be my special guest again. But yeah, until next Friday, let me know, Charles, how you end up liking the GoPro, if it works for you. Okay, Bella is 4. Okay, so she's right, just a little bit above ahead of my little man, because he will be 4 in September. So that is such a special age. I love this age because everything they see is new to them. Can you imagine walking into a world and everything you see is new to you? I mean, anywhere we go, we're exploring, because he's never seen this stuff before. So yeah, I am loving this age. I'm just Paw. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I was going to be Gran. That was the name I had picked out, but my son's name is Grant, and my daughter thought it would be confusing. So I ended up being Granny, and that's okay. I'll take whatever he wants to call me. Peter says, Bella means beautiful. Yes, I really like the name beautiful. And Peter is saying, hello, beautiful Bella. Right? You have become, I hope she's still watching, because young lady, you have become the star of the show. So hello, Bella. And you probably have that wonderful Aussie accent like your pa. So, but guys, I have no idea what next week will bring. But we'll do it again next week, right? So thank you guys so much for all your support and for being in here every Friday night with me. And it means a lot to me. You guys are super special. So until next Friday, everybody have a fantastic week, and stay safe. If you're in the heat zone, stay cool. And for you winter folks, stay warm. So see y'all next Friday. Bye.